From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeaux, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, November 11th. Once again, a really cold start outside in the low 20s this morning. Wind chill values are going to feel like the teens for most of the day. We will get up to the low 40s, but we're going to have wind gusting about 30 miles per hour. So bundle up. It will warm up later this week. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history could end soon. The House is set to vote this week on a temporary funding bill. The Senate passed the bill late last night, 60-40. 7 Democrats and 1 independent broke with other Democrats who were demanding the renewal of tax credits that lower Affordable Care Act health insurance premiums. The Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson will not commit to a vote on the issue, leaving most Democrats and their allies a bit frustrated. But one Democratic senator who backed the compromise says the deal helps guarantee a separate vote on health care before the credits expire at the end of the year.
One is to make sure that the government is functioning so that our kids eat, so that our elderly citizens eat, so that our air traffic controllers can get some sleep and earn money, get paid while they are working, and continue the fight to a realistic platform to get the premium tax cuts done.
You well know you got to get past the House. You got to get it signed by the President of the United States. Do you think the President of the United States is going to sign that bill? I don't.
President Trump has indicated he will sign the measure if the House passes it. Speaker Mike Johnson says that the earliest the House could vote on the bill is tomorrow. Both of Indiana's Republican senators voted for the bill to fund the government through January 30th. Before the final vote, Senator Todd Young told News 8 that the deal is long overdue.
Our constituents don't send us to Washington to shut the government down. They send us here to make government work, and that's what we should be focused on.
Democrats in the House cannot stop the measure if all Republicans are unified. Yesterday, Indianapolis Congressman Andre Carson said he would not back the Senate bill. He posted on X, without extending Affordable Care Act tax credits, millions will see the cost of health insurance double, and hardworking Americans just can't afford that. The Supreme Court could decide as soon as today whether the Trump administration must fully fund food benefits like SNAP with an emergency fund until the government reopens. Sherelle Hubbard reports on the ongoing battle, putting tens of millions of Americans at risk of hunger.
Millions of Americans remain in limbo, uncertain if or when their SNAP payments or food stamps will arrive.
I think in some states, people did get 100% of what they were entitled to. Some states, people have gotten none. Some states, people have gotten partial payments.
On average, households receive about $350 a month in benefits. Nearly 42 million people rely on SNAP to feed themselves and their families.
I'm worried that I might go to the grocery store and try to use my EBT card, and in the time that I've gone to the grocery store, that something has been reversed.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture said it would not use its contingency fund to partially cover food stamp benefits. But 2 federal judges ordered the USDA to use emergency funds to partially cover November benefits. Days after the Trump administration said it would only fund half of November SNAP benefits and then 65%. A federal judge stepped in again to order full payments be made, but the Trump administration filed an appeal. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson temporarily halted that order Friday evening to allow the appeal to play out. Some states that hastily dispersed full payments were ordered to undo those distributions by the USDA on Saturday.
They're saying, well, we want that money back. They're not getting it back.
A group of Democratic-led states and a coalition of cities, nonprofits, unions, and small businesses have launched fast-moving legal challenges seeking to restore full benefits. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Governor Mike Braun says for now, only a portion of SNAP benefits will go out to people in Indiana who typically get them. The governor says that the partial benefit payments will start going out today. He also says he is optimistic full benefits will resume soon. Numbers from the state and federal government show 600,000 people in Indiana typically receive SNAP to help them pay for groceries. Even if Congress agrees to fund the government, the Federal Aviation Administration says it will continue to cut more flights at airports. So far, FlightAware says more than 1,300 flights here in the U.S. are canceled, including at least 9 in Indianapolis as of early this morning. President Trump is blasting air traffic controllers who are not showing up to work. He posted on Truth Social that any controllers who do not get back to work will be substantially docked. Air traffic controllers are not getting paid during the shutdown. The Boone County prosecutor says he will likely decide by the end of the week whether he will file charges in the shooting death of a woman in Whitestown who was killed when she went to the wrong house to clean. Friends, family, and supporters held a vigil for Maria Rios Perez outside the prosecutor's office in Lebanon last night. Police say on Wednesday morning, Perez and her husband went to a home they thought they were supposed to clean. Then someone shot her through the front door. Friends tell us they are working to raise money for the family and their 4 children.
Because it's going to be a long journey for them no matter what. I mean, the baby's 11 months old. His birthday's this weekend. So, I just really appreciate all the support the community's showing. And obviously there's a lot of people showing up for the vigil just to remember her and learn more about her.
Last week, the Boone County prosecutor, Kent Eastwood, said in a review of the case that he would include consideration of Indiana's Stand Your Ground law, which allows people to use force when they feel threatened. Today's Veterans Day parade in Indianapolis is canceled and a planned ceremony has been moved inside. It's because of the weather. The Veterans Day Council of Indianapolis made the changes ahead of the below freezing temperatures and icy conditions. They say the ceremony will be inside the Indiana War Memorial Auditorium at 11 this morning. Organizers say to allow yourself extra time for travel and parking before that ceremony. The Indianapolis Airport is honoring African-American heroes with its new exhibit. Organizers say the Tuskegee Airmen Americans Freedom Flyers exhibit pays tribute to the first black military pilots in U.S. history. Airport says the exhibit celebrates the Tuskegee Airmen's lasting impact on both the military and civil rights. It features rare artifacts and stories throughout the airport. It also runs through March of next year, so you have time to go see it. It will conclude on Tuskegee Airmen Recognition Day. Sports now. Purdue falls in the newest AP men's basketball rankings. The Boilermakers were ranked number 1 in the preseason poll, but this week they swapped places with Houston, despite getting more first-place votes than the Cougars. Some AP voters ranked Purdue lower after the Boilermakers struggled to win over Oakland last week. As for IU, the men are not ranked this week, but did get some votes after their unbeaten start to the season. Major League Baseball says its authorized gambling operators will cap bets on individual pitches next season. Change comes after a federal grand jury indicted 2 Cleveland Guardians pitchers on charges of rigging individual pitches to help gamblers who were making prop bets. Prosecutors say Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz gave inside information to gamblers on the types and speeds of pitches that they were going to throw in certain situations, and that the players got a cut of the winnings. Health news now. The World Health Organization is calling type 2 diabetes an epidemic with more than 800 million Americans living with the disease. But now experts say innovative treatments could dramatically change the outlook for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes in the next few years. News 8's Gina Glaros reports in this morning's Health Spotlight.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Evie. For Lindsay Kowaleski, type 1 diabetes has been part of her life since she was 12, just a little older than her girls Lila and Evie are now.
I remember now being thirsty all the time. I remember running to the bathroom all the time.
Lindsay's navigated 3 decades of evolving treatments.
I started off with multiple daily injections.
But now, diabetes research seems to be moving at lightning speed. There's a new class of medications called GLP-1 receptor agonists, drugs that mimic a natural hormone to regulate blood sugar and reduce appetite. The next generation, triple agonist, is already in trials.
I'm really optimistic that those 2 things will decrease the need for orthopedic intervention in diabetic patients and ultimately decrease the need for amputation.
Technology is transforming care as well. Continuous glucose sensors now linked to insulin pumps that predict blood sugar spikes and drops before they happen, adjusting insulin automatically day and night.
These are devices where Patients can have their glucose readings immediately without poking their fingers.
Researchers are also testing cell-based therapies that regenerate the insulin-producing beta cells destroyed by diabetes, with early trials showing some patients live months without insulin.
Imagine having a medicine before that you had to give yourself twice a day, once a day, and now once a week. I'm looking forward to what is going to happen in the next 10 years.
I'm Gina Galeros for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordell. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.